What's up, guys? Another Bitcoin slash altcoin update, and I want to go over exactly what I'm looking at for the week. You know, if there's any setups. Last week we did have a really nice week in terms of trading, so let's hope this week can be very similar. So let's get straight into it. So first of all, what I like to do is on a Monday, I do like to have a look at total 3 just to get the general understanding of the current market. And if we have a look at the weekly time frame, guys, we did actually close bearish here. But we are still respecting this, this massive fair value gap over here. Okay, we are respecting this massive fair value gap here. But something to note is that if we bring the volume profile from this range over here to over here, we still have the point of control sitting at around about this zone over here. So I do think that we might have a little bit more downside due to this weekly candle being quite bearish. So 608.73 billion. That is the next zone I'm actually looking at for a potential bounce for crypto. Obviously there are some tokens that are looking pretty decent right now, which is what I want to go over, but some tokens still breaking support, which is why sells are still more on the cards in terms of overall altcoins, right? I mean, weekly time frame being below this level is not good. If you look at the daily as well, daily time frame also showing us that multiple days have closed below this level, right? So it's showing us that structurally right now we couldn't close above that 703, which is what I've been saying for quite a while. Closing above this was super critical for a pump for the market, but being below support over here doesn't give me any hope that we're going to get that pump anytime soon. If we do look at the 4-hour time frame, you can take this this trend line over here, and I'll probably wait for a break of trend to confirm continuation to the upside, right? But until then, we broke that 4-hour support over here. As you can see, we broke this 4-hour support, and right now we need to start breaking back above these levels here. We also have this key zone over here sitting right over here for a potential break. We have to start getting back above there on the 4-hour time frame for the longs to be valid. So overall for total 3 looking quite bearish in my opinion. Then let's go straight into the setups that I'm looking at today. I'm looking at a hype trade. So basically just waiting for price to break out of this trend. You can see our price is kind of just consolidating below this level here. There's a good chance that we can get rejected, but hype, one of those tokens where taking longs in this type of market is viable, just due to the fact that it's one of the stronger tokens out there. So waiting for price to obviously close back above this level over here, then you look for continuation to the upside. Looking for hype to move around about 20% if we do get a breakout, which is something to look at. Last week we took a beautiful, I didn't actually take it, but I think some of you guys did, took a nice little trade on JTO, pumped 27% off my call. Was a beautiful setup, literally break of trend to the upside. But overall what I'm looking at, if we have a look at Bitcoin, it's kind of just ranging right now. So what I'm trying to look at here, let me just remove all these things. Let's get a fresh little chart here for Bitcoin. Alright, so first things first for Bitcoin, if you can see over here, we obviously broke trend, right? But we're currently still below this level over here. There is a good chance that Bitcoin can still get rejected from this current level. For the bulls, we've been speaking about this multiple times, but this is the key zone that Bitcoin needs to start to break in order for continuation to the upside. Once we start getting back above there on the 1-hour time frame, then I'd be looking for continuation longs. But breaking internal structure over here, breaking trend, there's a good chance that we might just roll over from this current level. So just be careful. I wouldn't really look for longs at this level. I'd probably look for longs a little bit lower. We do have a very nice level here, sitting at boom 58,213. This is a key zone. We have tapped it. We have tapped that zone, but we did actually tap it last week, so never mind. So we've already tapped that zone. There is a good chance that we could potentially move higher from this zone because we did tap that keys level. I wouldn't really look for any longs right now. I'd still look for shorts just based on the market right now, but taking a short from this level here could be a nice setup. What I'd probably wait for is, I want to see if we can obviously form this double top over here for continuation to the downside. So this is something to watch out for the short term. there's a good chance that we can move lower from this level. So I'll let you know what I end up doing here. But let's have a look at Ethereum. I want to have a look at ETH before we move into some other tokens. Let's have a look over here. I mean, ETH right now is still, I mean, it's really messy price action. There's nothing really to do here. If we look at the weekly time frame for Ethereum, you know, we actually literally at the lows over here. You know, horizontal support. You know, we do have this massive gap a little bit low over here. You know, this is where we normally bounce from. So there is a good chance that we can come a little bit lower here. But yeah, looking at price action right now, this is a key bounce zone for Ethereum. Like, this is your accumulation zone where I'd look to start buying more spots and all of that. We are at a key point right now in the market where there is potential for the market to get a nice reaction to the upside with a bit of a bounce, maybe a relief rally to, you know, put some steam back in the market. But this is the key zone I'd be watching out for, like 1,300 to 1,400. These are the key zone I would look for potential long on the higher time frame. So that's kind of my thoughts on ETH. Then if we have a look at, yeah, I'm still looking at near longs if we do get them. You know, we're still waiting for price to actually break out over here. You know, I want to see price get back above these levels over here for continuation to the upside. We are currently below support over here. But for me right now, I want to see price get back above trend, and then also back above 207. That's only really when I really go long over here. There is a good chance that we can break this level and come lower. There is potential. But in terms of just looking at this right now, I want to see price get back above 2007 for a potential long. Okay, so that's that. Then if we look at, I mean, I was looking at shorts yesterday, right? It broke trend yesterday. We are getting a nice reaction off this level. I actually am looking at a potential break of trend over here for a sell. I'll let you know if I jump into this on the 15, probably the 30 minutes, because the 15 is a bit chopped. We have to also break below this fair value gap sitting right over here. I'll definitely have a look at this for a sell. I hate it when I put the magnet on, but yeah, definitely looking at a sell here for Aave, if we can break below this level right over here. Stop loss would just be above that high over there. Nice risk to reward of 1:2. Yeah, I'll let you know if I do end up taking this, but Aave looking pretty decent for potential sell. You know, we did break trend, we came up, try to retest this previous high over here, and we are looking like we want to come down lower. I wonder if I can bring that in. Can I bring this in? It doesn't really work. Alright, so I'm looking for price to obviously break this level over here, and then once we break this fair value gap over here, because it's going to inverse this level over here, and we can look for sells, right? So overall, still looking at sells here for a nice little push down to the downside for Aave. So hopefully we can get a nice little trade today in terms of the market. So this is pretty much this and hype, one of the two trades I'm looking at today. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great day, and yeah, let's see if we can get a nice move here for Aave. I'll see what we can do. But remember, total 3 is still bearish below this level here, guys. So you know, you can look for longs on certain tokens, but some tokens might just bleed a lot more still. Okay, so I hope everyone has a good one.